All of the 16 cultures before Christianity told the same story. The battle between light and dark, ignorance, evil, enlightenment, and love. It's a story, and many religions and cultures point to sun worship, the light, the illumination. Judaism points to moon worship, as all of their traditional celebrations are held after the sun goes down. The thorn on Jesus, who is the sun, the thorns on his head represent the light rays of the sun. Religion's symbolisms ultimately trace back to astrology. It is a story of the stars. Religion hinders people's abilities to think for themselves. They take it way too personally, and they take it as their own identity. It is simply a story whose symbolisms decodes its real meaning. Religion hinders people. It doesn't allow them to think for themselves, to look inside for their own moral compass. It tells you what to think. An intelligent person will question what he is told to believe and to think, and he will verify it for himself or herself. Religion is dying. People are finally beginning to awaken out of a coma state of pure mind control and brainwashing, which is religion's main function. If you go back and trace the birth of these religions, interestingly enough, they have a direct correlation with where reptilian monarchies were birthed out of: the Vatican. All roads to hell trace back to the Vatican. The Vatican is probably the most evil source of energy to this planet. In the Vatican, there are underground tunnels which tons and tons of ritualistic child abuse, child sacrifice, animal sacrifice, human trafficking, all of this centers around the Vatican. The previous Pope was a reptilian. He was not fully human, and he has been a part of many sacrifices. The Catholic Church is responsible for thousands of child pedophilia and rapings. The Catholic Church is filled with satanic monsters, and that is why the Vatican and all forms of mind control will come to an end as soon as people get their head out of the sand and start to wake up. So I ask you, the next time you wear a cross on yourself, think about all the energetic history behind that cross and what it really means and what it's really brought to this country and to the world, which is complete enslavement of perception. The day the Vatican ends, this earth will finally breathe a sigh of relief. I see a future where people think for themselves, where they turn inwards towards their intuition. Integrate yourself. Shine the light on all the unconsciousness within yourself. That is true spirituality. That is true enlightenment. Turning a blind eye to things that you don't want to see is pure ignorance and stupidity.
I believe that one of the most evil organizations that exist on the earth today, and you'd have to have spent all the years with me in libraries and research societies and traveling around the world and talking to other writers, authors, lecturers, and teachers, and collecting this stuff over a period of 45 to 48 years to understand what I'm telling you. But I believe today the most serious evil organization on the face of the earth is the Vatican. That's my personal opinion. I think if the Vatican was done away with off the face of the earth, there would be a shout of liberation heard around the world. Because the Vatican, in my opinion, is the bulwark of this dark thing that's happening on the earth. So when you talk about Illuminati, when you talk about the really dark criminal stuff that's going on the earth, you're talking the Vatican. You're talking the Knights of Malta, which gave us the 6 men who founded the CIA in America, were all Catholics, members of the Knights of Malta. When you begin to look at the banking fraternities in America, like the Bank of America, Union Bank in California, all of these people who founded these banks and today are running the banking establishment are all Knights of Malta, Catholic Masonry. So when I hear people talking about the Jews this, the Jews that, and the Jews are responsible, I said, no, you better go back and do your homework. The Jews have been slaughtered all over Europe by the Vatican. You need to remember that for at least 2,300 years, Rome has dominated Europe. Under the Caesars of Rome, and in the 4th century, late 4th century, the Vatican comes into being, and the Vatican dominates all of Europe. All the heads of state, all the princes and kings and rulers, all the kings and rulers in Europe rule by the divine right. It's called the divine right of kings. What are you talking about? Who represents divine to give the king the right? The Pope. The Pope appoints certain families to be over the French. The Pope appoints certain people to be over the Germans and over the British. And so by divine right. Why? Because the Pope represents God. And the Pope says that this family is holy and that they should rule. I'm telling you, the Vatican has given us the mafia, drug running, prostitution, terrorism, violence, child pornography, all of it. So if you want to talk about conspiracies and you want to talk about evil, don't talk about Jews. You better talk about the people who control Europe for over 2,300 years, Caesar of Rome, the Roman Catholic establishment. There's the real story. Now you're getting into mafiosi. Now you're getting into the fraternal orders of Freemasonry out of Europe, Knights of Malta. Now you're getting into the organized crime, Sicily, Corsica, and all of the profound drug running, white slavery, murder for hire,